Hey, traders. Welcome to Tuesday. Was it turnaround Tuesday? Not really. I mean, Bitcoin was up a percent or so. Altcoins, anytime Bitcoin's up a percent, altcoins are going to be, way more susceptible to swings, positive swings than negative swings. And that was just like a handful. Yeah, you just got more news of like SALT halting withdrawals and good news. This is cool. If we look at the quad screen real quick, which soon I'll be able to just use my stream deck. But look, top right, Jesus Chimes delisted from Binance officially. We did it, man. And this Jesus Chimes is also for the new day. 9 minutes ago, the daily candle closed. So, but yeah, I guess we're just gonna look at the quad screen. Top left Bitcoin, bottom left Sol, bottom right crypto.com. We're probably about to start getting off of these just because the crash is done. They're not really crashing anymore, and when they start crashing again, we can just put this back up. But it's starting to, like, the purpose was served of the quad screen. And yeah, so elevated, but still nowhere close to taking out the previous high, even on the 60-minute, which is kind of bad. But yeah, at least higher lows for now. I just think, like, you're in this process of resetting the oscillators. You've done a really good job of that, and God, I swear, dude. Why is that? Okay. So yeah, I think it's been like 5 days since there's been negative momentum on the 4-hour histogram on Bitcoin. And that was 5 days ago when you saw your lowest 4-hour relative strength reading since November of 2019. Right? The RSI went lower on November 9th than it had seen since before the COVID crash, November of 2019. Yeah, that was a nasty drop that day, but still, I think that's just notable. And after something like that, yeah, you're not going to just, it'll take a minute to recalibrate. So you're above 16.2 for now, but I just don't have confidence in this market based on the macro, based on all the scams that are being exposed. And you're seeing daily contagion. We had discussed this literally yesterday, and it was like, what's going to be the next thing that happens to something that's correlated to FTX, and it was SALT. SALT, it's been around since 2017, I believe. I don't even know if it's on, is it on? Yeah, Uniswap, it's there. It's just dead, dude. I just don't even know what to tell you. This is the chart. This doesn't even have much data. It didn't even go back to 2017. Is there even a SALT chart that goes back? Maybe Bitfinex? No. Just trying to find one. They've been delisted everywhere. Gate.io maybe? Not even really. This goes back to 2019, I guess, but I know. I'm still like looking for it. I found it. Now I'm going to it. It's just, but this is where it ended. This is how it all ended for SALT. How the chart looked was just at its lows from COVID crash, I guess. I don't know. So make of that what you will. Tomorrow there's probably going to be a new development where hey, something else has been negatively affected so much to where it's done. Bankrupt, insolvent, whatever, you name it. And that's it. But, on the technical side, it was pretty tame day. Ethereum here, just hanging out, doing about nothing. It was up like 1% or something from yesterday. Cool. No edge on the daily. You still haven't yet hit that 886. Figured that would happen, even if it was going to react or reverse there. Very close, $1,015. Waiting on that. The way the 4-hour looks on everything. More downside soon. I get it though. You're like, hey man, but dude, look how we're holding above 1223. You're holding above the bottom part of the range, but you're certainly rejecting and unable to catch enough bids to get above the top of the inflection zone, right? So to me, I don't know, I saw this trend line here, and that's really bad too, right? This old trend line, this old supply line again. It's like up thrust, back test of up thrust. I hate this. Like, this looks terrible to me on Ethereum on the 4 hour. This is what things look like before they wave down again. Look, you get your first wave down. How do you get divergence? Why is divergence up here all the time? But not yet. Because it's like the same thing. Just about commonly, all right? And this is traditional markets, untraditional markets like crypto. You have your first wave down, and then you have your small wave up. Right, the first wave down, you normally get severely oversold, huge spikes in negative momentum, and then a short-term bottom gets put in, bids come in, everything resets, the oscillators reset, right? That negative momentum becomes positive, the RSI goes from obscenely oversold levels to not oversold again, gets to neutral or 40, whatever, and then this crap that we're looking at right now on Ethereum happens, and then eventually the bottom falls out again, and we get another wave down. And on the second wave down, normally it's not as severe as the first wave down, but on the second wave down, you're normally making the same low as the first low or a slightly lower low. And on that slightly lower low, you're looking for, I mean, you know, Scott Canopy, we did this, like, you know, when he was on my stream, we like plotted it out on what you should look for. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. This is the stuff you're looking for, though, if you really want to feel optimistic on the 4 hour at least. This is certainly not even close on the daily. But on the 4 hour, this is what you want to see before you can get optimistic. And this is the stuff you're looking for at inflection points from history. Like if you're at $1,000 or $890 or whatever that level was, you're looking for seller exhaustion at key inflection points. You're not you're below a key inflection point pretty much, and you've been rejecting it for 24 hours, and you don't have divergence at all. You're extremely neutral, like 46 in a downtrend. So to me, like even if it goes higher, cool story, bro. Technicals just aren't there yet. They're just not. I don't care if it goes up. It can go up. You understand that? I'm not calling and saying that it's going down next immediately. I'm just saying there are things that are represented on a chart that exist before more significant markups begin. And it normally is what I just showed you. You're not showing that, so why the F would you even want to be thinking about a long right now? I'm just wondering. That's it, dude. Good God, never have your good coffee and put it in your old coffee cup from your hotel. Terrible idea. What was I doing? That's really bad. Okay, so that's it on Ethereum. I'm sorry, man. You're just not there yet. But if you're patient, I think at 980 or 1015, you'll have something. You haven't seen negative momentum on Ethereum's 4 hours since November 10th, 5 days. Don't worry, you'll see it soon. At least if you think about reasonably, like if it's common, if it's going to do the common thing, it's going to wave down again, and that's okay. We needed to do that. BNB, one that's just kind of stuck here at this level back from, you know, September. And it's the same situation here where the oscillators have fully reset perfectly, but no bids really, and it's time to go lower, and it's time to get maybe oversold again. And then maybe we'll talk about some seller exhaustion. It's just not really there yet. It's not there. The things you need, you want to see, just don't exist yet, even if it goes up. So what does that mean? If you don't have an edge, then it might be a coin flip. But in my opinion, it seems more probable down than up, just based on the fact that you don't have the edge. And you're just looking for the edge, man. You're looking for that combination of variables, like key inflection points. And even when that happens, you still have a chance of it failing. But it's something versus nothing, like we have nothing right now. No edge, no discernible edge on these coins. There is no edge. You're slightly above the bearish control zone, but barely, by 2 points, right? I mean, below the 200-day moving average. You've rejected the key inflection point on the top side thrice now with a really gnarly bull trap. So you'd think probably in time, based on everything we talked about, probably 225 next. But you are in an area where it's very difficult to strategize taking a short. Even if you thought it was going to go to 225, it's like, what's a good short? Stop loss. I mean, above 300, maybe. I mean, you could try that, I guess. But what if it goes to 330 again and then reverses after you've gotten stopped out and then dumps? See, it's always like best to be looking for shorts at the inflection points. That would have been really tough there, right? I guess you'd had to have been like on the balls of your feet, witnessing the pure rejection and the candle close after, right? It doesn't matter. It's trash. John, I mean, I think people are just trolling now. I think John's just trolling to be funny, but so John just shilled a scam while the biggest Ponzi scheme in human history has been unveiled.
Hey Michi, Pulse Dogecoin looks to be outperforming like the Jesus.
God.
I think Pulse Bitcoin might also be something special. Same cannot he said for stocks.
Thank you, Kush Blunts. Post Maloj Doge. It should be Post Maloj Doge chained coin, right? Where we flip Doge and Malone. Yeah. Thanks, dude. Yeah, if you buy the trash that John Harden just shilled, you will lose money. And it's hilarious that you would even listen to some guy named John Harden who's super chatting. He's so poor, he can't even trigger the TTS. Oh yeah, dude. He's promising riches, pretty much, and can't even afford $3. So it's on the TTS, which we'd mute anyway. I'd try my best to mute it. Terrible. Okay, so BNB and then XRP, 4 hours different. It's not the same. It really kind of is different. Can't even believe I'm saying this. But XRP's 4 hour, all right. So you've got bullish divergence on the oscillators at inflection point. That's the stuff you're kind of looking for. That's what you want to see. Bitcoin's not doing that. Ethereum's not doing that. BNB's not doing that. XRP is actually doing that hilariously, right? 886 from your lows down there, right? Because we had already identified that, and so it's like you got to wonder how much higher this could go. You'd think like 618 to 886 up here, but the problem is it's just like I know what's going to happen to XRP when Bitcoin dumps. That's my issue. Like this market's so homogenous and so beholden to the macro, or beholden to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I just don't know how this can go higher, much higher, without Bitcoin playing ball and continuing to rise. Now, if Bitcoin holds on, it's going to be good news for XRP for more upside, but at least it's showing you something on the 4 hour that you'd want to see in any situation, on any chart, on any market, right? The second test at inflection point, their sellers are exhausted, and an engulfing candle to trigger the beginning of the reversal, and it's been pretty good since then. But yeah, man, really low confidence in crypto right now for really good reasons, like really warranted reasons to be skeptical of longing stuff right now. You're not off base of being skeptical. I don't know. The chat box is broken now. They finally broke it, dude. Yep, they finally decided, you know what, man? It was broken before. Now we're gonna really break it. Hi, we're owned by Logitech. We were acquired years ago, and we're trash now. We're Streamlabs. Hi. So I just like really reset it, but I highly doubt it works. But we'll see. I can't do anything, man. Like everything breaks. Everything breaks. Everything. It's like, oh my God, the siege of all these things just going wrong. It's just like the test. Will I persevere, or will I just hang it up and just quit? Because there's just so many effing things that go wrong. That are just so little, but they all compile, and they just keep happening, and they have nothing to do with me. I can't do anything about it. There are all these exterior things that are happening, and it's just bad. It's just like, what could I have done different to prevent that? Nothing. Literally, you just have to sit there and take it. And it's like, oh, okay, great, awesome, everything. Awesome. So, I mean, you got a really nice engulfing candle. You got fall through yesterday, but you're still below the 200-day moving average, and you are still going to be beholden to Bitcoin. So, I mean, it is outperforming Bitcoin. It's better than Bitcoin right now. XRP is better than Ethereum right now. The technicals are somewhat better, but the problem is the daily is not showing you any sort of discernible edge. Nothing. It's not. So, I mean, it's like, all right, better than nothing. Better than Bitcoin, better than Ethereum, but still, Well, what I just wouldn't have showed you on the 4-hour is what you really want to see on the daily and the weekly. That's when you know it's like really high probability of a reversal coming. 4-hour, it's okay, but normally you want the 4-hour and the daily to be telling you something at the same time. Or you want multiple time scales to be implying the same thing. Unfortunately, the 4 hours implying upside, but the daily's not really at all. I don't know, man. God, I hate Streamlabs. They just became so trash, dude, when they got bought out by a publicly traded company. Somewhere in Europe. Logitech, dude. Whatever. Okay, so you get it. It's hard to have confidence on XRP because Bitcoin and Ethereum look like they're setting up for lower prices. Okay, cool. All right, after XRP, doesn't really even matter anymore. Everything after XRP is really a joke. I guess Cardano or Phantom or whatever. Matic. I mean, this one's just like, someone could try to say that's divergence, but I don't know, man. I want to see my divergence occur after the second time it becomes oversold. And it never got there. So it's just sitting at 40, 39, and it's broken all key supports. This is the last thing in the world I probably would want to own. I mean, that like based on technicals. I mean, if you get above 40 cents again, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about how, wow, man, the buyers defended a very key level. But until that happens, there is no argument for a long. It's only like you are now in the crash territory. You're in the crash zone where really bad things happen when you fall below these levels, especially after you consolidate for 5+ months and do nothing, except roll over and make lower highs again and lower lows, reconfirming the downtrend you've already been in since September of last year. So good luck on Cardano. I mean, you could really probably get a 12-cent Cardano if you're patient. If you wait, you'll get a huge sale, a massive sale. This thing will lose half its value from where it is right now. The only person who won't be able to believe it's Hoskinson's son and his cult members, I guess. Oh, Probes in here? Probes, dude. I hear the UCLA USC game is going to be sold out. It's going to be a little bit better than it was when y'all played South Alabama this year, right? When there were memes were made of that. Pull it out, dude. Do it. Make it happen. Win that game. That'd be hilarious. Turd in the punch bowl behavior. All right. So get wrecked Cardano. I mean, just until it breaks above key levels, it's a loser and will lose half its value until then. Probability is high it goes down another 50%. But if it gets above 40, let's have a discussion because things could be turning around for it. It's just not happened and may never happen. And I have very low confidence it will. But hey, I'm not here to talk about me knowing where something's going. It's just we know about the levels and what assets do below levels. They normally do what they did before, which is straight up and probably down again, like Total 3. Yikes. Yeah, it did. It did. I saw that, Jeff. But I was going to text you when it was close game, went all the way down. I'm like, what do I want to do? I'm like thinking, hey man, that'd be like Probes texting me after LSU beats us in overtime or Tennessee beating, like, So I was like, let it ride, man. Jeez. Okay. But hey, maybe we'll play y'all in the Rudy Poop Bowl, the Cheez-Its Bowl or something stupid. We can have a meetup. All right, Cardano, and then what was the other one? Was it Matic, right? We got to look at Matic, yeah, because it's a big boy. Better than most, man. It's better than BNB, better than Bitcoin, better than Ethereum right now. It just is, because the higher lows are there. I mean, you're above the 200-day moving average. You are now right back up against that 94 to 98 cent level. You got to break that. If you do, 120 again. But until then, you're suspect of going to 72 cents now. Like, you're at a resistance and you haven't broken it, and you've tried breaking it for 72 hours and you just haven't. So if it fails here, then you do have a target, and it's 72 to 69 cents. Okay, I mean, that's it. That's like one of your bigger coins now, unbelievably, right? And it's performing better than almost every other crypto because of the higher lows and the higher high. That was your most recent event.
The Tsuki Dragon is here to reign.
What's up, yes sir? Thanks for the 15. Yeah, we can look at Suka Blayat coin. Thank you, dude. Thanks. I mean, do we want to look at Doge? We can, sure. Doge for sure. I mean, Doge. I'm sorry, Doge was the best looking like technical setup for maybe higher prices, but low to no confidence because of Bitcoin. Bitcoin owns Doge. Bitcoin owns everything. When Bitcoin looks like it's set up for lower prices, I just can't have any confidence in anything crypto related. Yes, Max. Absolutely. So Doge is still here, 886, completed BAT, engulfed, but you're talking about almost an entire week now of just nothing burger, sideways, good God. Range bound, really, a week, you know, in the month you've been here, you've been stuck. I'm sorry, the week you've been here, close to anyway, 8 cent to 9.3 cent range, right? You can see the wicks. Just don't know how it can do anything. I mean, it could do it if Bitcoin doesn't roll over and Elon tweets. That's the only way this thing plays out. There's no other way. Bitcoin would have to moon for this thing to actually go up from here. But yeah, waiting on Elon tweet. Hold on, I got sirens, dude. Okay, so that's where we at on Doge. There's no point in
Got your
looking at
back.
Is that a joke?
Thank you, Elon, for the 420. All right, we'll see about that. I mean, it's overdue. You need one. Like, it's the only way. But if it happens, it's like, go figure. But if you don't get an Elon tweet and Bitcoin rolls over, because it looks like it maybe on the 4-hour, the way the oscillators are, then this is going down to 7.8 cents again. What does that mean? Percentage losses? That means that Doge would be going down another 8 to 9% from here. Okay? So, we can look at total now. I like totals, man. Yeah, you get it. You're here, and I understand how someone would be like, dude, it's time to long. Where look, man, I mean, you're talking about 763 billion. It's the low from June. Right there. The sellers tried once, they tried twice, they failed twice. I get that, man. That's okay and all, but where's the follow through? The engulfing was there on the 4th. That's beautiful. All right, man. But dude, again, you can't just do this. You can't just stall out and fail to see 840 again and then break 840. Like, what are you doing? Why is this happening? Again, it's the way the oscillators look that's so bad. What we know about how assets look before they reverse, more significantly, they don't look like this. This is what they look like before they collapse. They leg down, again, wherever it is, you know, and wherever it bottoms, you know, whatever, it's where you start doing this, and you get huge negative momentum spikes. Your RSI hopefully becomes oversold again, and then all of a sudden, you start having an argument for seller exhaustion after you wave down again, 1 and 2, right? You just don't have that yet, and until you do, you're flipping coins, but I think that there's just like, from experience of looking at this a trillion times over all the markets, you just think that if this looks like this, I would never long. I don't even care. If it goes up, I'm not going to be concerned about it. I'm just not that worried about it. I'd like to see something that we see before more significant reversals occur. You're just not showing that yet. Certainly not on the daily, but definitely not even on the 4 hour, which is, it's got to start somewhere, and normally you're looking for the 4 hour to start it. It's okay though. I mean, whatever. One day things will get better. You know, it's all good. Let's run over to the S&P 500 real quick. That you know, was up 0.87%, just floating on up, man. Floating on up, modest mouse. Heading on to the 200-day moving average again. 4,076, but 4,058's upon you too. It's just a couple swing lows from May of 2021. So you've certainly got a zone here of mystery, like a box here where it's like, there's horizontal line resistance, there's a 200 moving average, there's a supply line. You could definitely make sense on why maybe that's where a pullback occurs. It just hasn't happened yet. You're on the way. You're almost there. Getting there. Bear market rally stuff. You already had one of these. You're going through another one. Or the trend's your friend. Lower highs, lower lows. Most recent discernible event on the daily was the lowest low of the downtrend. And before that, one of the lowest highs, right? So that could continue. You have broken back into the bullish control zone today. That's nice. You're at 61.3. Let's see how long that lasts. How did remember the bearish reversal candle? I mean, it held up 0.17%. I mean, really, the hanging man's still valid. At the inflection point, another failed attempt by bulls, though. This is technically kind of like the 4th day in a row buyers were unable to sustain or keep prices above 33,729. This is just a very real level of inflection we've had plotted forever, right? You haven't broken it yet, so you're still right up there with that point where, man, if you don't get above this soon, this is exactly where a gap fills at 32,500. That is a gap, open gap right now, not too far off. You haven't seen negative momentum on the daily since October 3rd. So we're talking 6 weeks the Dow Jones has shown positive momentum on the daily. 6 weeks, man, non-stop. It's the dragon. What a beautiful dragon. Okay. You know, NASDAQ gapped up today, 1.45% to end it. To end the day, you broke the supply line. That's cool. Maybe you back tested the supply line as support. Again, it's just one of those, like, is that a hanging man? Not a really pretty red candle here. Like, how often do you get, like, red candles like this, and you just continue upward? I don't know, man. Like, not a really pretty daily candle today. But still, highest levels you've seen since September 21st. Dude, sirens just non-stop. The Russell 2000 continued its ascent. Exceeding the 200-day moving average, 1926. You think that's probably where you're headed? 1,926. Getting closer and closer. You could make it when it's all said and done. What a dragon. But then you got this. I mean, the weekly argument is so impeccable. Look at this. This is where we are. You still haven't broken out on the weekly. Maybe tomorrow. You have a good day tomorrow. Hey. Then you will be attempting a breakout. But as it stands now, just slightly. I mean, it's testing it. 2 weeks now testing it. But if you exclude the macro and all the terrible data, economic data, and all the bad stuff going on, this is impeccable, right? This is the stuff that dreams are made of on the weekly. This is what you'd want Bitcoin to be showing you one day, like one day, right? When it's actually ready. where it shows triple bullish divergence on the MACD and then tail end RSI bullish divergence on that second low, and
How
these
does
two
lower
lows
image of the
reject
TA
the previous
empire?
highs.
I want to buy digital cows but need help with Bifibist. What do you think?
What's up, scam, bankrupt, fraud? Not for sale. I don't know, whatever that is. Sounds like a scam. Sounds terrible. I guarantee you that asset you just asked about or requested will never change the world, will never help anybody except the people created it by rugging everyone that bought in thinking it would do that. All right, beautiful. Rust 2000, just gorgeous. The weekly. Let's see though, you know, how it all plays out. This is like a specimen. This is like a bonsai. You go to a bonsai nursery and you're walking around, you'll see some bonsais that look okay, some look like crap, some are like just starting, you know, they're being grafted, too big of leaves, all that. But then you find one that's like, whoa, dude, this is the show bonsai. This is the specimen bonsai that they compete against other bonsais at shows every quarter or year, right? Every month. That's what this one looks like. A specimen set up for higher prices. Doesn't mean it's going to win the bonsai show, but it looks really good. It's beautiful bonsai on display. All right. Golds. Beautiful, beautiful reversal a couple weeks ago. Follow through last week and some more follow through this week. There was no edge on the weekly. The daily had an edge, somewhat, you know, like it looked similar to the Russell 2000 in ways, right, where you confirmed a bottom and you rallied off that engulfing candle, broke a supply line, then you got above the inflection point, and when you broke the inflection point, you know when you break that level, it is very possible that the asset would run to 1800, and it's on its way, right? This has been the target. If you break this level, this is always the target, and you're pretty much skating up on it. It seems like you'll be testing the 200-day moving average at 1800 soon. If you ever broke that, understand the target above 1800 is 1900. I don't know if it will break, but if it does, that's where it goes. But remember, from this high to low, you are nearing an 88% retrace in a downtrend. You are in a downtrend, and you are approaching your deepest of deep retraces from your previous discernible highs. So you've got to keep that in mind. I know it's not a formal harmonic. The bottoms are too perfect, A and C, but 886 touched yesterday, which is today. I mean, like, I'm covering gold's yesterday candle, right? Because it closes hours, you know, after I've gone live. So today, yesterday, 886 was officially achieved from the previous side of low.
Thoughts on Japanese Renko candles?
Is it like hiking a shi? Whatever, I don't have any thought on it. I haven't done any kind of research or studying on them. Probably takes out noise and stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't, you know, if I haven't studied it or researched it or looked into it, how would I really be able to have much of an opinion on it? So thanks, Dane, for the super chat. Right, I'm just gonna tell you, I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna try to pull a Sam bankrupt fraud, okay? On my opinion on that. I know chat's broken. It's for real broken, dude. It is because the YouTube API was updated. Oh, fantastic. So see, told you, dude. And who knows? You know the API was updated for something terrible, like not good for anyone
Mitch, I
watching.
posted a Bitcoin short ETF chart on Discord just now. Thoughts on the bullish 5-0 pattern?
Bullish 5-0 and long, well-established downtrend, right? Bitcoin shorts ETF. Okay, so it's at a 113, I guess. So it's got a... So you're saying, I guess you would be implying by that chart that it would need to retrace some more, meaning Bitcoin will be rallying more. Well, I just don't, again, I mean, that's a derivative. I'm looking at spot. I'm looking at total market cap. And to me, I do not like what I see. This is just not the way things look on oscillators before more significant reversals. It just isn't. So that's why hands off, not me. I'm not risking capital right now looking at this. Like, it just doesn't make sense right now. Are you kidding me? How are the 5 days now you've shown positive momentum? 5 days. Okay, well, we were on gold, which I think is something to be paying attention to a lot now because of that 886. Silver too, just to be paying attention. Silver was unable to sustain prices above that key level at 2168, which was the old bottom of the multi-year range we were in. Silver was in, and you were falling back below, but not by much. I mean, like, it's above the 200-day moving average still. But yeah, a pullback here. Any pullback that happens, just look for a higher low than the previous lows, and all of a sudden you might start talking about a potential reversal in the short-term trend. Still got that pesky previous high that is discernible, and it's like gold in a certain way, right? Where this high that I can see on the daily, from the high to the low, where is it? Where is it reacting a little bit? The 88% retrace. So from the previous discernible highs on gold and silver, they are both achieving 88% retraces for now. So those are big time levels to be paying attention for a potential reversal or definite reaction. So it's kind of like, if you are even trying to go long on anything, you'd never want to be longing an asset after it's already rallied and retraced 88% from its previous high to low. That's like the worst area, even if it keeps going up. I think if you play the numbers game and an asset retraces 88% from its previous high to low, the numbers game, like, you're gonna lose so much over all the trades long term. It's gonna be terrible. That'd be like, you're like legitimately buying high every single time if you keep doing that. Okay. Copper, hey, look at this. Interesting. All right, so what if it does both? It looks like it's trying to do both, at least a little bit. Copper, the bullish Gartley springback test, type 2, and the bear flag, both valid, right? The Gartley has played out. Wonderful. It's done it, man. TA respected in that regard. But now more TA been respected. The top of the bear flag, you up thrusted through it. You never spent time out of it. It was a breakout, but not really. It was a candle close confirmed breakout. That's your weakest form of breakout. The next day it reversed after hitting 395, which is the absolute bottom of the old Wyckoff distribution range you were in for a year, right? So that isn't, to me, it's like, once more, kind of crazy levels to be trying to take fresh longs. These are like good areas for maybe shorts to be shorting, right? The first formal back test of the old range as resistance, and at the top of a bear flag in a well-established downtrend. There's a lot of downside. What if it just goes to the bottom of the flag again? I mean, think about the downside potential on copper. It's like 11% if it goes just to become oversold again. I did look at that, CJ. I looked at it. I didn't show it. I just looked at it. It was, again, I'm looking at spot, and I'm telling you my opinion on things, and it's not good. It's just things aren't there yet. The things we need to be there just don't exist yet. But if we get one more wave down, they will exist. Rejoice. God, man. Sorry. I know it's cold, man. It's like crypto winter, bro. Okay, so all the three big metals are all at massive or major levels that we know based on Fibonacci or technical support resistance. All of them. So they are ripe for a reaction or a pullback, and that's okay. Doesn't mean it's the end of the world, just means a pullback seems very probable. What a nice run though. They had a really nice run. It all started in the end of September, early October. It all kind of bottomed out there. Good run so far. 6 weeks, right? Yeah, 6 weeks. Okay. Anyway. So, checking on U.S. oil. That really has been sketch lately, man. It's like, it's not over yet. It's still making a higher low. This is not a dead argument yet, but dang, man, I just have... It's so hard to have any confidence here, man. Hard to have confidence. Like, there are two arguments, okay? One is the momentum shift, the supply line breakout, the higher low. But then the other argument is presented on the chart, where it's like a harmonic that is completed and it's confirming distribution and bearish divergence on the daily. To me, that's just not good. Like, I don't like that. And that just, when you have contradicting variables, it's just like, hands off. Let's just go somewhere else. Let's just find somewhere where everything lines up the way we want it to. Because that's the beauty of the internet and everything. Like, you know, just the world we live in now, where we can trade anything with a touch of a button. Why settle on something that's giving us contradicting variables, where an argument could be presented on both sides so easily? Just not the best thing to trade, not at that time, right? You come back to it later and then it shows only bullish on everything and there's no argument, you know, with the new data. Let's go to natural gas. That, of course, it pumped. It pumped some on that whole, you know, and that's something we didn't even talk about today. It was the controversial missile that hit sovereign Polish land, and it was apparently from Russia, but then people are like, no, man, sources say no, it was Ukraine, or no, dude, Kremlin's saying it came from Germany, you know. So if Russia's denying it, you know, obviously it's not going anywhere. No one, I mean, like, this happened and it sucks, but I just don't think that if someone does something, you're risking like a catastrophe. Like, what's anyone gonna do about this? No one's gonna do anything, because you're like threatening nuclear war. It's just not gonna happen, dude. Yeah, and the White House or the commie house asking for, you know, just a cool 37 billion more dollars to send our taxpayer money overseas. What right do they have? They have no right, but they're doing it anyway because they're authoritarian. This is what they do. I don't even get it. I don't even understand how this is possible. Hey, let's just spend a week counting ballots. F it, dude. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Screw it all. Nothing makes sense anymore. So I don't know if the bear should abandon baby, if it's really the end-all be-all reversal. Good luck. I mean, trading natural gas since October 27th. Jeffrey, you still looking at this? Because it's just obscene. Every day is obscenities. It's just psycho. Like 576 to 650 every day. But no break. Orange juice pumped today. Well, it was up. Look at that. What a back test. Right? We're at back test 202.72 as resistance. Gotta wonder, will it continue downward? You would think so, but dang, dude, it's been on such a huge run. And what you know, just as we identified yesterday, like how cool it was to see the pullback. The bids came in, but a lot of selling came in after 202.75 was tested, re-regarded as resistance. You go back, here it is. I mean, this is not a joke. This is August of 2011, the first time ever that resistance existed. It was created, manufactured back then. You just, as of today, well, yesterday you fell below it, and then today you regard it as resistance again. So you'd think if that's real, you could see more downside. And the other one that we've been just eyeballing So meticulously, just no movement. Live cattle futures just at the pattern completion zone, pausing, but no movement, just sitting there. You'd think it doesn't have a nice bearish edge like orange juice did, but you'd think down next, but I don't even. It's whacked out, man. What a whacked out chart. It's beautiful, but no reversal yet. If you go to a steak restaurant, you're FOMOing. You're FOMOing into eating steaks right now. Clearly. Hog futures still, you know, downtrend for now. Starting to get to one of those levels though, right? It is starting to get to a point where you could say, hey man, and now a bullish wave structure, complex wave structures appeared out of, but it's still not there. An 886 is what you need, $75. You hit the 786. So X, A, B, C, D. You need to go a little bit lower if you want that, the completion of another harmonic, right? I guess I could plot it if you want to see it. All right, 886 would be best, just not there yet. All that happening at really key levels. Not the best spot to be identifying harmonics, right? I mean, way up here after the crazy run, and the trend is reversed, so just saying. Dang, coffee futures just continuing to collapse, right? Beautiful, man. Look at this. Broke 172. You know what that means? Coffee's going a lot lower. A lot lower, man. There's just not much. The valleys are way, like 104, man. This has to be great for coffee people. I mean, I'm talking like coffee vendors, right? Because, I mean, coffee futures, like that's them. They got to get the coffee to sell it, to roast it, all that. This keeps dumping. That's, you'd think may be good for them, but it's all paper. This is all paper, paper coffee, not real coffee. Cheaper beans, keep it going, man. We knew it was over. It was a perfect example. Like, it was like, hey, it's doing what the S&P did in late March, early April, the confirmation of distribution. But then it dumps and, oh, you're lower low. Then around it's like the same high, and it's like, wait a second, man. How is this happening? And then it sold off against, like, you still are showing distribution, just triple topped instead of double topped, which we're very, very used to the double top because it's so reliable. Like after the buying climax of a cycle, and then you get the two tops and it's over. We're so used to that, you don't see the triple top. And you got it here. And it rolled over, the Momo ship in the dump. So good to see TA being respected. If you're going, this is definitely 886 stuff, right? I mean, you think about coffee futures from the low to the high, you'd want to see eventually, it's perfect. The 886 lines up with inflection points, 105. God, can you imagine that? You're going to have ups and downs too. This thing will pivot and rally, make a lower high, but we're talking like maybe it'll take months to get there, but eventually you're thinking about still another 33% downside on coffee beans, coffee futures. Doesn't happen overnight, but it's just up and down till we get there. Lumber was up today. It held support. Oh my God, this is the level that, like, if it doesn't hold, you are screwed. Really, really screwed here. It's already broken one part, the top part of the level, which is bad. Right up here, like back from 93 and 1993, 1994. But you're still holding this little bottom part, the 99, 2004 levels, the 2013 levels. And yeah, I mean, that's it. That's everything. Breaking that, it's over. But you still got a chance. You could confirm a bottom here and have a bigger rally. But buyers defended the key inflection point today because this thing's up 3.71%. Just have your alert set up on lumber. If you hear the beep, you know what's happening. 408.50. Good alert to know. Just stay in tune with your commodity, right? This should continue to plummet, wouldn't you think? How, like, just everything's going with the real estate market. Dang, man, it's been a long time since someone's to 2420.
Is that a joint?
Did we take a look at ACB?
Yeah. Aurora Cannabis. We'll look at it, Squirrely. Thank you, dude. Awesome. Okay. One minute, this food commodities. Looking at just corn real quick. Bearish divergence, not really doing much, is it? I think the spike came from the whole Russia, right? These food commodities, I would imagine all of them we're going to see something like you saw today. $666. Oh my God, on corn. Exercise corn. Rice futures, oh man. You got to wonder. It can't break this level. There's no bearish edge per se.
CGC do be.
Canopy growth. Another weed stock back to back. Let's go. We'll look at it. Thank you, Doobie. Your art is safe from the water, from the flood. So you got, like, I don't know, 18 bucks is a big deal. A huge sell wall on rice futures. You gotta wonder, is this type 1? Is this type 2? Scott Carney look at this and be like, maybe. But the weekly on this one's just ridiculous. It's just so unreal. Like the weekly bullish, hidden bullish divergence on rice. And you, okay, there you go. Now you've got some sort of level here on the weekly. I'll go with that candle high close right there at 1834. And that seems like what you're having trouble with. $18.34 back from 2011. Oh, you haven't even touched it. You figure you go test that, right? Not yet. Soybeans. Wow, look at this reaccumulation on the weekly on soybean. It actually looks pretty good. That right there, it's pretty solid. Up 1% today. I think this whole Russia thing, Russia and Poland thing, is good for these. Yeah, man, that's it's not over yet, right? You could get one more wave up. Not even kidding. But that's like, you know, after the dump, after it made all the sense in the world to reverse here, because it's like go back to history. This is the reversal area. After all this, you are still holding on. Look what happened back here. Like you had in 2011 and then 2013, just like you had here in 2021 and this year. I mean, you made a higher low. You rallied, but it just ended up failing to make higher highs than the buying climax. And then you confirm distribution, right? One high, then the second high, and now it's an 886. That was a little bearish shark, or a little bearish bat pattern right there. 886 reversal. So you could be looking at that. You could go for an X, A, B, C, C to D wave that takes you all the way up to an 886, 786 up here for reversing. So it is doing what it's done in history before, right? And then, of course, it'll be like head and shoulders. Yeah, sure. Wheat, still not there yet. I'm not really there yet. I mean, it's still making higher lows, right? Still all these higher lows. It's still real. Just couldn't break 919. If you pivot, make a higher low, and you test it again, you'll probably break it. And you'll go for an 886 up there. Probably got some supply line too. There you go. It's a long way off, aren't you, from that? Yep. Okay, just spending time with some food commodities, whatever. Got cotton up 4% today. Wow, man. Keeps going. You're probably going to go test $92, $97 again. You had no formal back test of it, so that's in line. Okay. Commodities are just not dead yet. But you can see why. Like, why would you go to $97? Because that's what you've done in history. Do it again. There's actually some really nice bullish, like really, really nice bullish divergence on copper at $72. Okay, let's get to some of these requests. Let's look. First one I believe was, you know it did, right? Pulse Meloge Chain coin. Dude, remember that time it held support?
Please tell me about HNT. What do you think long-term about this project and short-term? I need your wisdom. I've been picking it up and I bought 4 miners as well. Give me the hard truth.
It's not good, man. It's not good. It's like it's dead. Remember, you know the developers, right? They already pretty much scrapped HNT, and they already have another project under another ticker, and they're different miners, and they're thousands of dollars, not hundreds like HNT. That should tell you everything you need to know. A successful company doesn't do that. A successful entity doesn't do those things. So, again, hey man, I'm simple TA man, but just hearing that sounds pretty fraudulent to me. It sounds like they failed. It's miserable. They're trying again because it's a money grab. Like, why would you? That's Do Kwon started Luna 2.0, right? These losers that scammed everybody show them back up on Twitter because of scam, bankrupt, fraud. He got exposed, so they think that they're safe, and everyone forgot. No one forgot. All right, Tails. Good luck, dude. I don't have the optimism that you might have. I think most of crypto is a scam. Everything you think, like HNT, like real. Okay, what's it doing? Okay, everyone's mining and they're making small amounts of fractions of HNT, and it's not doing anything for anyone practically in the world. You get that, right? You have a zombie little miner hooked up, and it's just ticking away using data, energy, and you're making HNT, and HNT just keeps plummeting, keeps getting delisted from Binance and different exchanges. I mean, and then, okay, just tell me, like, what's practical about it that makes it such a good long-term thing? What's so revolutionary about it that's really going to do anything? Because it's the same thing like 2018. All this, Electronium, bro, dude, I'm telling you, man, don't even... It's you can mine on your phone. It's the future. It's blah, blah, blah. It's the long-term bet as the price plummets over and over and over again. It's just... There's reality, and then there's like your thinking, your tinted glasses. I don't know, man. Oh, music stop? Is that true? Not this music, though, man. This is music to my ears. The cold winter. Chat's broken. Sorry. Okay, so Pulse Malose Dogechain coin held 488. It went up 12% after holding support. And it's probably headed to 635 now. 635, if you break that resistance. The target's $8.84. $8.84 if you break 635. So have your alert set up on this asset above that level. So far, I mean, dang, man, that's impressive. But it was never about, oh, I think you're going. It's like, it's all about this level. If it holds, it's wonderful. There could be a lot more upside. And, coupled handle, man, whatever. In any way, any regard you look at it, it broke some sort of supply line. Sure. You haven't seen positive momentum on this thing since October 28th. I think it might be it's overdue. And there is hidden bullish evidence, right? I mean, like on your RSI, the daily RSI, you go from a low that I can see it, and then you go to the higher low and a successful bullish backtest. And you can make the argument that continuation upward might be in store for it right there. That's low to the higher low. $12 up yesterday. And that's really good price. That's the price action you needed bad after a back test. Okay. That's it. Thanks, dude. So technically it's still very good in a long extended uptrend for now. And it just went through from its top. From its high, Pulse Malose Dogechain coin lost 50% of its value, 48% of its value at the bottom. And since it hit that 48 to 50% drawdown, it is up in 2 days. It is up 22%. Wow. Pretty good. Okay, next request. Oops. It was Suka. We'll look at Suka in a minute. Mother of God. Well, I'll tell you this. Here it is. You know, it reversed at a very real level. You know, I mean, I don't look at this often, but just coming back to it, what the levels we did have, it held and it mooned. That's incredible stuff right there. And this is one that is similar to Pulse Meloge coin, where you know, it had a drawdown, it's in an uptrend, but then buyers defended key levels. You want a supply line? Well, there's your supply line. That's gorgeous though, right? What a level to be doing that. And where's it going? Who knows, man? It's up so much in 2 days. Right? It's not even 2 days, man. It's up 22% on the new day in less than pretty much 2 hours. It's already up 22%. But okay, so that means like in 26 hours, it's up 100%. Wow. I guess we could plot it like that. That's a peak. So if you break that peak, I mean, you could try to say the next one is 10.4 cents. What a run, man. All it took 2 days, or it took 26 hours, I guess, or 25 hours and 10 minutes or something. There you have it, man. That's what you're looking for, the levels, man. And I wonder, maybe the 4 hour showed you something. It was not very good on the 4 hour, was it? It wasn't that great. I mean, there wasn't really anything that looked so good on the 4 hour. It was just more like the daily. When you get back above support, these things can happen. So very nice. But now understand, if you like got in on that, you're up 100%, know where you are, and it's just a peak from mid-August. And it might not be as easy as you think to break it, but if it does, maybe 14 cents. Crazy, dude. Here's your Suka, dude. Okay, next one was something I've never even heard of, I don't think. BIFI. USD.
Mind checking our CHZ/USDT on Binance. Thank you, sir.
What's the biggest fan? Yeah, look at Chili's. Absolutely, thanks, dude. Much appreciated. This is in a good chart. I mean, I don't know, start with this one. My God, it's awful. But is this the right one? I don't even know, man. It seems like it kind of is. Wow. Beefy Finance. That's what it is. Beefy Finance. Found the data. Why am I looking at this? Someone requested it. They spent $16.56 to look at it. I don't know why they did that. I understand that they're supporting the channel, but when you're just looking at this, you see the 200-day moving average. You see the wicks, the illiquidity involved, the low volume. It's $330. Is it? I mean, is it worth $330? That means it could lose $330. A lot of downside, I guess. Not doing anything that I would want to. I mean, if I remember, I have unlimited freedom to trade anything in the world that I want, that I desire, and it's like, why would I look at BIFI and want to do anything with it? Unlimited options. Why am I doing this? Binance Smart Chain scam. Well, there you go. That's all you need to know. It was just created by somebody. They got all this money, the seed money. They put it all into marketing to push the price as high as they could. And the people that created the coin sold up here. And that was it. And this is what you look at now. All the coins look like this. It's terrible. Sorry, I just don't want to spend too much time on that because there's just no point. There's nothing to do here, just to look at it. ACB. Well, the thing about this one, man, it's just kind of like, All these things, they get these news-driven catalysts and they collapse, right? That's all that happens. Because things just don't manifest into any, like, you know, they never legalize weed federally. They never do much anything enough, right? To, like, you got 240 was the old all-time low from 2015, and look at you now. You're at 154. Maybe we go the weekly or something. Or some hopium, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, the weekly's showing some bullish divergence, I guess, right? I mean, maybe. You already showed the divergence and it played out. Now you're down here making higher levels than this level. There's not much. I mean, like, they're really strategic about it, man. It's not like you're testing a support. You're like at all-time lows, and you just made like a low, then a lower low, and it's just trash, man. But yeah, I get it. Maybe even here, like maybe locally, super locally, you could say that there's a low, then a lower low, and there's higher levels, and you got oversold both times. So impending price action reversal to the upside, it'll probably manifest into a much lower high than the previous highs and roll over again later. It might go run to 240, go test that level of resistance and dump. That's what you got right here. Okay, that's all I can give you on this. It's just terrible asset. If you exclude the wick, I mean, you're at a 1272, I guess, from this low to high. Again, excluding the scam wick. So you're near fib node 2, I guess. Okay, let's add them all up. Again, unlimited options to trade anything in the world. Why are we looking at ACB to trade this one? That's the question. You know, pray for that to play out. Canopy growth. Now, this is something that makes a lot more sense than ACB all day. Way more sense. Where buyers have achieved breaking the price back above 392, which was your 2014 IPO price intraday highs. That's it. It broke that. Down 2.83% today. Almost like double bottom, right? On the second low, you see it, you know, like it's diverging from one low to the exact same low, higher levels on the RSI on the weekly. Not bad, right? But it's happening at a level that makes sense. It's an inflection point. Look, a peak from 2014 and 2015, and kind of valleys a little bit from 2014. One time, two times. Oh, volume. High volume down here. That's a nice signature. That's what you're looking for bottoms on stocks. Okay. So like ACB, forget about it. But CGC, way more compelling argument, right? Oh yeah. By the way, remember the M shape and breaking resistance. Now it's at, you know, it's not broken this. It's the peak of the harmonic, right? That's the neckline of the potential double bottom. You have failed to break that the past 2 days. So you pull back, all you're looking for is a higher low than previous lows, pivot, and then you'd rally again and eventually break that level. But that's where we are on CGC, way better than ACB. But still, right, not at the bottom, it's at like the top, you know, it's like at a resistance right now. Your Chinese stock, man, you're not going to like it. But yeah, they're up. Like all the Chinese stocks are like 20%.
Can we look at Nio on the weekly with fib levels from low Sep 2019? High January 2021 looks like it holding right above the 0.886 with support to the left at the same level. Do you see any harmonics?
MBLZ, please, friend.
We can look. Oh, Medellas, thanks, G-Dog. We'll do it. We will do it, man. 1886. The deep retrace contribution. The really deep retrace. Okay, you get it. So it's not like actionable at the pattern completion zone. It's run up 100% from the high to low. So it definitely makes sense for a pullback maybe here. But when you do pull back, let's get a higher low than previous lows. And then all of a sudden you're showing accumulation. What? It's amazing. Doobie, thanks, man. All right, HNT. I mean, I already talked about it, so I'm not going to go any further into that. But let me look at the actual chart. I have to look at another one because my other one got delisted from Binance. So I got to like HNT to USD. Okay, we'll do that one. Binance US. Oh my God. It's just like, dude. It's the rug pull. It's exceeded an 88% retrace. Definitely. Let's go over here. Let's take a look at some highs, some candle high closes. Have those plotted for you. Kind of makes sense there. So yeah, you're approaching. You're testing the peak from September 25th, 2020. That's where you are. Maybe you can start talking about some bullish divergence on the daily. It's been really bad, man. If you look at the HNT to BTC chart, I bet it's just depressing. Like, how do we do this? Something like that. I mean, supply lines there. It never goes up, right? I mean, it's really, really bad.
Thanks for your take on HNT. I'm already in Bitcoin and ETH. Is there any hill other than those that you're willing to die on that has practical use? I love your streams and I trust your judgment. Thanks and keep it up.
I would never risk my life on any cryptocurrency outside of Bitcoin. And the thing is, like, I'd never risk my life on Bitcoin's price. Because Bitcoin's price is certainly irrelevant. Doesn't matter what the price is of Bitcoin. But no, I wouldn't. Like, I'm just thinking, like, all BNB is just a casino stock. It's a casino coin. Okay, yeah, that'll probably never lose. But the issue is, like, the macro gets worse. Technical supports break at 200. It goes to $40. BNB is still going to serve the same purpose. Okay, I guess I get it. But who knows about Tether? What other, like, crazy bad things are gonna, like...
Hi Mitch, I discovered Richard Hart today. What do you think of him? I know you are a simply man. Hex seems interesting as a project, but I have zero faith in crypto right now. 0.378086685 LTC.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna go far into it. You can make decisions about his personality just by watching him or watching people try to interview him. And that's like all I need to know about, like, yeah, we're not gonna go far into that, okay? Hex though respects the TA, right? On the way up and the way down. Like, on the way up, it was bullish patterns would present themselves in the chart. They would be reliable, and when they were reliable, they would outperform. So TA respected, right? You could gain nice entries at good levels that were reasonable, textbook patterns, and they would play out. And then on the way down, eventually, there were bearish patterns that would develop, and then once you confirmed that they were real patterns, they would play out. You'd have bearish breakdowns and collapse. From its highs, it's down 95%. Just like literally every other crypto in the world, just about. Just not Bitcoin. So if we're talking about technical rating, like everything else, in terms of from the boom, when the boom started, the real boom started, to the bust, it did the same thing. From the highest high to the low, 95% losses. So the bubble popped on it too, but it doesn't mean that it can't pivot eventually and reverse the trend, and then all of a sudden bullish patterns become reliable again. And that's great. Waiting for that to happen, because lately it's just been breaking supports. We'll look at the chart, okay? But there's just no need to really get into that guy, okay? No need to. It's like, you do your own research on him. His last name's not Hart. His last name's Schuler. So you could Google and start looking into, like, why he changed his last name and all that. If you want, you know, like, saying, man, like, normally people don't change their last name, but Okay. But there's always going to be a counter argument. They have a cult following. So the cult following has some sort of, you know, they have a rebuttal to literally everything. So, you know. So HNT, let's go to the weekly on this. Oh my God, it's so bad. Did y'all see this? There's no exhaustion from sellers at all. None. It hadn't seen negative momentum since July 18th, and since July 18th, this is the nastiest looking weekly chart I've ever seen.
How do you shade in the space between two horizontal lines for inflection zones like you do?
How do I shade the space? I use the rectangle tool. The rectangle tool. And I just have it, you know, you go in and you augment and change it the way you want it to look, transparency and all that, so it looks good. So listen to this. Thanks, dude. It's so bad, dude. Like, the last time you saw negative momentum, right? Every day for months, you only shown positive momentum. And since then, it's lost 74% of its value. I don't think, like, any crypto's doing that. Not really. Not to this extent. So if that isn't like screaming, telegraphing something dysfunctional and broken and ruined and like people getting their money out and never coming back, I don't know what would. Not even your worst, trashiest losers like EOS, you know, jokes, Doge, I mean, whatever, Shiba, they're not even doing that. This is another level of bad. So maybe it's in levels of inflection from history, but there is no seller exhaustion. You just hit all-time lows on your RSI. You finally become oversold. It's just, there's nothing about it. I don't care if it rallies from here. I do not give a crap. Why would I put dude, you work for your money, right? I mean, like, why are you putting in something like this? But hey, sure, dude, let's see a pivot on a dead project. Nothing else doing that at all. Normally, when you go positive on momentum, you gain some value. Here's just a standard normal example of like every other crypto where it hasn't seen negative momentum since July 11th. And it's not down 74%. It's up probably 74% since it started showing positive momentum. It's up 111% from then to literally right now. That's normal. I get it, man. The inverse head and shoulders idea is there, but dang, dude, where are the buyers? Why is it just not able to do anything? I think I still have it plotted here, right? The daily, yeah, here it is. I mean, it's still valid. It's still a valid potential massive inverse head and shoulders. Buyers defending 16.3 cents. Kind of like Matic a little bit. I would say, like, if you're into this, and I get it, it's maybe like a confirmation low down here. That's pretty cool. You need Bitcoin to rally. You need Bitcoin. You cannot have Bitcoin crashing to lower prices. This will not play out. This will fail miserably. But we're just looking at this isolated. Your cutoff is below 16.3 cents. You don't want anything to do with it, right? Look at this. That's the level, man. May of 2021, buyers defending it. They're defending it again. 1 and 2 here, or 1 and 2 here. So it better be soon. You better start rallying and start taking out these previous highs from the summer. You better start running to 33 cents and then break 33 cents. But better than many others, okay? Way better than many others. There's actually some sort of argument that's still valid right now. For now. Again, for now. You know, let's look who just typed in chat. That's hilarious.
Yo, short liquidation incoming on LTC. It's always two things causes test version on BTC of happening earlier. PS, Craig Wright BSV that's Jupster fire trash.
Yes. Thank you, dude. Satoshi Vision, bro. You must not have on Satoshi Vision glasses. Correct. Thank you. Okay, NIO. Chinese trash stock. Communist Chinese trash stock. No. Just no. Okay. This is how it is. Okay. This is it. Up 3% today. I don't care. I don't care where it goes. As long as it makes a lower high than 2240, it's doomed. I think it's going back down to its 2020 lows. There is no edge. Nothing implying reversal here. Just in the middle of a C to D wave. With much lower to go. If you're patient, you'll get there. This shows you how miserable it was. Like, this is like type 2 return and just could never break 2377 and collapsed. So I think way lower on NIO. 886. I mean, yeah, there's a level here, I guess. Again, there's an unfilled gap still at like 793. I think 793 will fill the gap. And then when you get to that point, you're probably going down to at least $6, 550. Oh man, I think you got lower to go, unfortunately, man. MD LZ. I haven't looked at this in a minute. I know you'd brought it up, but look, man, here's the untouched chart. Once more, at an 88% retrace from the previous high to low. If you can even believe it, on both oscillators, you do have daily hidden bearish divergence. Not by much, but it is very real at a key supply line that has been very well respected. Do you see it? The high on price, then the slightly lower high on price, but with far greater levels of positive momentum, higher levels of relative strength. That implies a continuation downward. You would imagine that at this point, that's a perfect spot. Gotta love how well respected that bearish sharp played out, right? With the rising wedge. That was nice. Let's see what happens again. And really, look where you, like that high from July 2021, you're nearing that, 65.62. I mean, it's a long-term uptrend, but dude, lately, lower highs, lower lows only, you know? So great request, great chart at a very interesting level. It'll be cool to see what happens here. Yep. QRTEA, yeah, it's wonderful. Because it makes sense, right? Because of where it was. That's all I can tell you, man. At your previous old all-time high from a year and a half ago, at a supply line, at an 88% local 886, you could plot, like, try to plot. And I don't think it's not deep enough anywhere to actually be a formal W shape like we had before. Beautiful. But if you just think about it, you know, just think about it and just be open-minded a little bit, where you've got something like this, or it's just something like this, like a bat. If it's not a bat, I mean, it almost meets the criteria for it, right? If you anchor like that, just a little too shallow on B by like 4%. Everything else makes sense, but here you are, just another W, completing. There you have it, whatever. Okay. Thanks, G-Dog. We'll go to Hex. So it's tough, man. Someone in our Discord had brought up possibly Wyckoff accumulation, and it's hard to argue with it. It was a good chart. And I'm like, again, you know, I try to be open-minded.
We all
like,
are looking for
even
some
if it's
handle
like
to
this,
grab
you
in
know?
this terrible environment. Who, if you had to choose three other than Bitcoin and Ether, is more likely to come out on top? Stupid question maybe, but I have money to gamble.
Then put it in stocks. Put it in what Michael Burry bought, yes, or like, you know, the last when he disclosed it. I mean, like, The stocks, man. Crypto is just why crypto when you could buy a stock? Do I have to pick cryptos? Is that what you're saying? Do I have to pick cryptos and not stocks? Let me know. You can just type it, whatever. Well, no, I'm waiting for Chris to say it's okay. He said, I'd like you to. What does that mean? I'd like you to. Oh, you'd like me to pick cryptos? Okay. I can do that. I was about to do something, though. Oh, maybe bring up, like, what someone had in the Discord that was not, like, terrible idea, man. I mean, this is from JG. Not JG Wentworth, of course, but... You try to bring it up like this. I mean, it's not like off. Like it's kind of interesting, right? All right, it's got the thing, the spring, and then if it can hold this local level and start rallying off of it, it's pretty good shape here. I mean, it's not a bad idea. But it's Hex, so Hex is showing this. I will be interested to see if it is Wyckoff accumulation. If it is, you're at the lowest risk area for the composite man to acquire his, he should be buying here, right? Where we're no more dumping, right? If this is real, if this was a real spring, a real fake out, there should be no more selling, no more retest, no more falling below this level. That's it, okay? So you want to pay attention to this idea. Good job, JG. If it plays out, JG would get Hype King. I would think for sure. Looks old JG, man. Just our standard friend in the Discord, okay? Probably not even watching the stream right now, but all of a sudden, just like that, he's potentially famous if this plays out, okay? I dig what he's saying. So maybe that's what you got going on. A little bit of Wyckoff accumulation. A lot of bit of it, actually. It'd be like you're getting in the phase D of it. Just if you're talking about not Wyckoff, okay, not Wyckoff, you have to take into account looking left at 3.2 cents is a swing low from May 23rd, 2021. I think it's so important. If you don't hold that, the only thing to do is exactly what happened when it fell to 2.1 cents. That's where you're going. Okay, you're going back down there. But so far, hanging in there. This is why it's like, if Bitcoin rolls over, Hex is probably in a lot of trouble, and that's probably going to be a failed idea, and that's okay. So it's like, if that fails, you just know 2.1 cents. That just means, like, if the Wyckoff accumulation fails, if Bitcoin wants to go down further, then you have another 34% downside on Hex. But if it holds, my God, it's like unlimited upside, like crazy. So we will be monitoring this because someone in the Discord presented a very valid argument that is not invalid. It's nice, right? It's invalid when we start plummeting back to 2.1 cents. But until then, props. We got on audio levels. It's probably a little late to ask. Henry Z, don't you do it, man. Don't you do it. These market conditions are terrible. Litecoin's kind of okay-ish still. I mean, it's not making... It's doing better than Bitcoin lately, right? I mean, remember what Bitcoin did. Bitcoin has certainly taken out its lows from Black Saturday from mid-June. Took them out. Litecoin's not doing that. Litecoin cannot do that. It can't even test that level again. So for now, Litecoin's kind of strong here. It's kind of good. It's kind of okay, man. Yeah, it's not bad. But if it stays below $60 long enough, you could be going to 42 when Bitcoin rolls over again. But we know the most important level on these charts, we have two of them, okay? Unfortunately, your Let me get rid of this. This local. But if you just look at history, right, you can see very clearly that $40, right, $40 is massive. And $66 is massive. And $84 is pretty important. 105, 109, massive. So we got the levels, but buyers are very resilient here. It's kind of impressive, man. Similar-ish to Matic locally. We're on that massive dump when Bitcoin took out its June lows and went to $15,000 for the first time since 2020. Litecoin just hanging out. Just seeing the prices it hadn't seen since July of this year. So compared to Bitcoin, impeccable performance lately, where its losses have been not near as bad as Bitcoin. So I was told by Chris to, if I had to, literally had to, 3 that will survive. I mean, you might be looking at one, right? It survived. It's the same thing as Bitcoin in some ways, right? Where it's just faster, meant for transactions. Miami Dolphins or something, right? Official coin. I mean, maybe this one, BNB, because it's a casino, it's a well-established casino. So BNB and LTC, and then, I could say something, a wild card that would make people lose their minds, just based on its technicals and who's like legit behind it. I think maybe Doge. You're the one forcing me to talk about 3 cryptos that are not Bitcoin, Ethereum. So I say Doge because before, somehow Doge is implemented into Twitter for a payment system, and then now it's already come out that Elon's trying to compete against YouTube. So all of a sudden it starts competing against YouTube for live streaming content creation, and all of a sudden, like, you can tip me through their platform in Dogecoin or something. So there you go. Those
Hey
might be
Mitch,
3, right?
can you take a look at LGVN on log scale? Is it breaking a long-term trend line and above new inflection point? Big M shape, what you think?
I don't know. We'll look at it. That was the next request. Okay. Thanks, dude. LGVN. So Litecoin hanging in there pretty well here. Buyers defending the crap out of this. Longavron. Are we here? Maybe someone in the Discord was talking about it or something. Oh, it certainly is at an insane level. Wow. Nice one, dude. Very, very nice one. You got your pretty real zones here. I mean, you could say a local high, like $4.
Doge daily hidden bullish div.
Yes. Yes, hidden bullish divergence on Doge, yes. But again, like, it's gonna require Elon. Like that hidden bullish divergence and Bitcoin not collapsing on top of Doge getting an Elon tweet, right? That's it. So I get that you have to deal with this one local level around like $4 to $4.20. And it spent like, August 2021 all the way. It spent multiple months there. But when it finally like broke that $4 area, you see where it went. I mean, it went to Kingdom Come. But I would think that if you're here and it can break this level, then it's $5.62, $6. Maybe you come for a back test, like a double bottom or something like that. But very interesting and better than a lot of crap we've looked at today, right? Where it's, hey, this would be considered buying low. Buyers defending the crap out of 332, and you have straight down and then straight up and then kind of straight down. So if it holds, it could 330 again, but eventually, if that holds, then $5.60 to $6 plus. Above that would be $8.76. Well, Chris, that's a perfect time for a Doge tweet. Couple days after he said that. Log scale, he says, though. which, I mean, not much difference. There's like no change in log scale to this. It's like the same thing. Everything's the same that I just said, okay? If it's real, then again, $5.62 to $6. If you broke that, $8.76. Yeah, Doge hidden bullish divergence is certainly there. But where are the bids? I think this is just one Elon tweet away from going up 40% in a day or something stupid, okay? But it's there. It's one of the only cryptos out there that has a pretty impeccable bullish argument, a completed M shape, an already established midterm, short-term uptrend where you made your lowest low Black Saturday, June 18th. Then you rallied, and you made a high August 16th. But then you sold off again and made higher lows in September than your lows before. And now on the pump, you've now established a higher high than the previous high. And now a higher low than the previous low. All of a sudden, that's how trends reverse. So that's why I have cautious optimism on Doge, because it's doing something that assets do when they reverse their trends. There's no longer, there's more people that own Doge in September and October than they did in June. And now again, there are more people that own Doge in November than they owned in October and September. And going back to even June, right? So it's like something's changing, but it's not really gone anywhere and could still fail miserably. It could even come back down to 7 cents again for a type 2. And, the negative momentum could just start building. It's not waning enough. It's like you need some bids, some real bids to come in for this to really get back to close to neutral. Still so elevated on negative momentum, even with it barely losing, right? Yeah, I know. What Brian Armstrong said, the CEO of Coinbase, Twitter has broken just about every piece of this FTX story using blockchain analytics, while the New York Times is writing puff pieces on a criminal. It does feel like a turning point for citizen journalism and loss of trust in mainstream media. He must be really insulated from morality because that happened years ago. Like, I don't trust anything that any sort of mainstream media, the entities that used to have credibility, but then were hijacked by activist psycho-communists, neo-globalists. They own that now, and so there hasn't been trust since then. It's been that way for a long time. Crushing eggshells just joined the Discord. Egg, you hear that? Our most recent tipper. Look at the new member of our Discord. You're about to be wrecked, dude. My God, man. Been live for an hour and 45 minutes. Thanks for being here all this time. Be sure to join the Discord if you haven't. Hit that like button, that bell, that sub if you haven't. Really appreciate it. The Discord link is pinned, but I will just spam it again for you in case you're not into clicking on pinned messages. If you have pinned message clicking phobia, there you go. Join the cracked eggshells. What's up, IB Chang? Welcome to the Discord. I see you. I see you out there. Shaking that A. Okay, so get it, Doge. Unironically, one of your best bullish options based on traditional technical analysis and harmonics. But at the same time, terrible macro. Bitcoin in the 4 hour doesn't look good. It can continue going up, and that'd be good for Doge. But what we need now is just you get a Doge tweet, you get 30 to 40% rally on Doge very fast. And it would make all the sense in the world. This thing is just butting up, and it's been butting up and trying and failing to break above this August 16th peak for a week now. Very real and active bullish engulfing candle. This is not invalid. This is still a valid bullish Japanese candlestick reversal. Okay, it's still valid, but clearly there's a lot of supply here that I just don't know if it's going to be able to break without Bitcoin rallying like the Jesus and or Elon Musk tweeting something cryptic about Dogecoin or something very obtuse about Dogecoin. Okay. That's it, man. Cautious optimism for sure on Doge. If you made me pick, I might have to pick Doge. Unfortunately. It's Chris again, man.
I love the penthouse. I sent the tweet out. Maybe we can make a push in this bear market.
Chris, thank you, dude. You love the penthouse, so you should have seen it before it was flooded and ruined. I mean, yeah, I'm living in a hotel. It's fortunately a presidential suite because it's the equivalence of penthouse, thanks insurance. But it's just awful, man. It's like, I don't know. It just is a bad feeling. It just doesn't feel good when you wake up or when you get done streaming or anytime you just come to, oh yeah, the realization that I don't have a home really right now. It's not a home. It's just it's a penthouse. That's not a home. It's a home when you have furniture and all your art and you can continue like building on that, getting new stuff, and it's a fun thing. And then it just gets destroyed in a day, in hours, in 2 hours, just done. And it's done for months. All right. And it was all out of my control. It's like there was nothing I could have done looking back on it that would have changed anything. Not an effing thing. So you do Bitcoin on your daily, just going back to it for the final product you think with wave structures, 886 on B, lower high on C, eventually 13K. It could go up to 19,650 on the daily, and this is still valid. You know, on the daily, Bitcoin never formally back tested 19,650 as resistance. It just didn't. You can't believe that, I know. But if it did, it could do something like this, and this would be amazing. Doge would be the new world reserve currency if this happened, right? You know, then this happens, yeah. That could happen. Just the 4 hour looks kind of like crap still, and you know, I normally want to see sellers extremely exhausted. They're just not showing that. I mean, it's the peaks and the valleys in life, you know. Definitely the peaks and the valleys. And I just happen to be in the valley. Sometimes it's self-imposed valleys. Sometimes it's nothing you can do about it valleys. I'm in that valley. What could I have done better? Nothing. Nothing. Okay, so I'll just leave y'all with that. Thanks for everyone coming out. Remember to join the Discord. Hit that like button, that bell, that sub. Okay? And just enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay warm. Crypto winter is here for now. And yes, you're going to have up days, big up days in the crypto winter. But remember, the trend is still intact, and it's lower highs, lower lows until something changes. So let's be back. Until next time, respect the T. Hey.